Let's go. Let's go. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out their night and joining us. This is RBL, Real Bread Life. We are live. This is Thursday Night Live, number 68. I am Jay Rome. Hopefully I'll be joined in a little while by a couple of guys. If not, I'm going to do what I do anyway. For those that don't know, every Thursday we go live here on RBL. So you can catch us everywhere. Facebook is Real Bread Life, and the group is Real Bread Life. Instagram is Real Bread Life. TikTok is Breadville. You're watching on YouTube, which is Real Bread Life. So it is the beginning or the kickoff of the summer roll season or grilling season, some might say. But Memorial Day weekend is the start of the season for cookouts, baseball, outdoor activities, all those things of that nature. And it's when we see an increase in sales, pickup in the overall hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that. So just briefly go over some of the things that I've been going through as far as dealing with this season. Got my tables up, talked about that, the displays. I brought another display into one of my markets today, and I really appreciate that manager because he didn't even have like official, what you would say, okay or planogram permission or whatever, where it comes from. But he was like, bring it in. Let's get it going. Let's see what we could do to make some money. So I appreciate that. And we had a couple of comments the other day, and I was telling people that the question was about the stale or returns and the volume or the amount of returns that you have. And excuse me. Oh. And my answer was, if you're not bringing out some amount of stale or some returns, then you're not bringing in enough product. You have to have some level of returns. You can't be running it so good that you don't have any returns. That means you're missing something. And when I say something, I'm talking about sales. You're missing some sales somewhere. So with that being said, you want to always make sure that you're bringing in enough or more than enough product to make sure that you're not missing any sales. And you want to figure out what to bring in. So as I mentioned that, let me say this. The other day I had a discussion with someone in the process of looking at a route. And in the midst of that conversation, I was just giving them some of the information as to how to run the route once you buy it, decide you're going to do it, whatever that may be, however it may go. But the conversation kind of went something like this when we were talking, and it was, once you decide, I want to deliver bread, I want to own a bread route business, or I want to work a bread route business, however, whichever way it may go, you need to dedicate yourself to that because it is a full-time commitment. People watch the videos and the lives and they hear us talking about the hours we work and how we get out at a certain time. But the main point of emphasis that I would put within all that conversation is the commitment and dedication to doing the job. You have to be committed. There is no short way of doing it. There's only one way of doing it, the correct way. And the correct way has to be whatever that is for you. When you figure out how to most effectively, efficiently, and productively run your route or deliver your bread or service your stores. So it's not the same for everyone. I I have to say that because we have this misconception of a cookie cutter process, and it's not going to be the same for everyone. And there are a couple different factors that come into play when you talk about how it's different for everyone. Let's start with all routes are different. We have a lot of different people from different regions that check in, and some that watch the videos and things of that nature. So we have the West Coast, the Midwest, the South, the Northeast, just the East. And like, even if where we're at, we're in the Northeast, but as you head down the coast, you run through Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, VA, the Carolinas, all the way down into Georgia and Florida. So within all those different regions, you have the same companies or similar companies when it comes to Flowers, Schmidt, Beanbo, Pepperidge Farm, and I will say company wise, there are different, they're all ran differently, what I've found in all the different territories. And the standards are, I'm not going to say the standards aren't the same, because the standards should always be professionalism and excellence, right? You want to make sure whatever you're doing it to make money. And if you're doing it to make money, you're doing it correctly. So if you're slacking, then that will reflect in your sales. And again, that will reflect in the way your bread looks, your aisles look, and your shelves look, and all of that. So I know all the companies, when it comes to management and then the top levels, they're all looking to get the highest numbers they can, produce as many sales as possible so that they get their bonuses. And for those that don't understand, there's a lot of money on the line when it comes to management and it comes to these big bosses and these companies. So I don't want to get away from where I was going. So the thing I was talking about was how all the routes are ran differently, but the standard is the same. The standard should be, again, professionalism, a little bit of excellence, and just good business sense. But we have different I would say requirements from different companies. And we're seeing, as we're talking on here and we're sharing information with each other, we have a lot of excuse me, I'm sorry, I apologize. Carolina, what's going on, good brother? I've seen, or I'm hearing about the different standards, and I want to say some of the different requirements from different companies, but sometimes, oh, excuse me, I apologize. Again, I got done late today, and it was a long day, so I didn't get my bread man's snooze on, but I'm definitely gonna take care of that in a little while. So, what I was saying was basically we want to try to perform the best we can. Let me get my man Carolina in here. What he's got here. He said that's true. I've never seen a bread man who wasn't in his grocery stores at least 5 days a week. I've seen where you find questions from people asking about buying a route, and they are curious as to whether they can only deliver 3 days a week. I was like, what? Wait, what? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you've been up here, brother. You heard it. They do it all the time. And again, it's no fault of theirs. It's not anything bad. It's just that misconception. And I'm gonna stand firm on the statement that if you're good at this business, you are going, or if it's not you personally, someone is going to be in that store every day. There should never be a day that your bread doesn't get touched in that store, whether it's pulled forward, whether it's packed out. And I don't care if you just go in there and look at it. You should be monitoring your bread every day. If not you personally, someone that's in there on your behalf. And it could even be, again, I'll give you another example. When I go into my stores, there's a couple of other vendors that they have, their codes are a little different and they work for different companies or whatever, or they deliver a different product. And I pull their bread forward for them just because I rock with them like that. So it's okay. But for the most part, they're in there at least 4 times or 5 times a week. So the 1 or 2 days that they're not, it gets taken care of, and everything is structured a little differently. So I don't want to be sounding like I'm directing this at anyone. And what I say is not the law. I'm just giving you my opinion. Everything I say is just mostly my opinion, but there are a lot of facts involved. And you can question me on some things. And if I'm wrong, I don't mind admitting I'm wrong. I'm a great owner of being corrected when I know I'm wrong. And the beauty in that is I love to learn something every day. And if I could learn something, I'm willing to learn. So with that being said, I don't have a problem with finding out some new information. So we're here for that. So back to what I was saying. So with talking to the person I was speaking with yesterday or the other day, it was one of these days this week, and I found that even though we put a lot of videos out, and I don't have the most videos on YouTube, and I don't have the most content. I don't even know if I have the best content. I just have the content that I know about. And we had a conversation. They watched the videos. They said they appreciate it, and they've learned a few things, and they're in the process of acquiring a route, and they're working on it. So as we started talking, and this was the first time that we've ever spoken, we were talking on the phone, and I started dropping all types of other things. You should look out for this. And well, when you do this, you should go this way. And well, once you start doing this thing, you turn into that thing, and it's going to go in this direction. They said, wow, I had no idea it was that detailed. And it is that detailed. It's a lot more involved than what you may just see on the video and what you hear us just talking about, because some of us do it so often that we just we gloss over it and speak over it in a broad manner like it's nothing. But there is a level of detail involved that is ever evolving. What that means is this: it's always changing. The landscape in the stores is always shifting. You hear us on here, if you've been on recently or in the last month or two, talking about resets and talking about space being taken and space being added for others. Somebody loses, somebody wins. And that's what I mean when the landscape is ever changing. We have a thing right now. When I came on earlier, I was just speaking about the roll season, excuse me, and moving into this time of the year. So what we're finding is in the Stop and Shops, which would be the equivalent of a Publix down south, or Wegmans, or things like that. So in our Stop and Shops, and if you're on the East Coast, you understand this, the rolls in there, they have like a coupon or a digital coupon where they're giving away free rolls. They have a 99-cent roll. In the supermarket I was speaking about earlier that I brought a display in, they have their hot dogs and hamburgers 2 for $3. So basically the hot dogs and hamburger 8-packs are $1.50. Whereas ours are being pushed at a $3 price point. And yes, it is a name brand, but that plain bag looks a lot better at $1.50. And even in a Walmart, that plain bag looks a lot better at $1.46. So I do bring that into the Walmart, but that's a cheap bread, but you have to bring thousands of them to make a couple dollars, which I'm not against it. I'm just telling you how it goes. So the point I'm making here is this: we're trying to sell rolls. And what's happening now is the big chain stores that we're in are even undercutting us and taking the space at the same time. So You can't have that end cap. You can't have that special space in the middle of the aisle because they want it for their bread that they're selling at a quarter of the price that you're selling your bread, or half of the price, or at least a quarter or a third of it. And that's what some of the guys are fighting with right now. And it's only the beginning. This is Memorial. Then we got 4th of July in a couple of months. But not just that, we're going to run through the whole summer with this same issue and deal with this same thing. So just to give you a little insight about what we're up against and what the challenge is with the guys out there. And I applaud anyone and everyone that continues to fight through it. And it's going to keep happening. It's not going to change. You just have to learn to kind of move with it, ride that wave, and as it shifts, keep your balance. You know what I mean? They tilt the floor. You gotta move a little bit, keep your balance. That's just how it goes. And everyone has their own way of dealing. I'm just not the whine and cry about it. I will speak about it. I will say something, but I'm not gonna pout and frown and think about it all day. I don't do that with anything. I'm just not good with carrying things around for a long time. I deal with it, let it go, and leave it behind me. I'm not good at looking back at it like that. Now, if it needs to be addressed and in a certain way, that's different. But we're not gonna whine and cry about things. We're gonna figure it out and keep it moving forward. Keep it moving forward. We'll eventually get where we want to go. If you keep looking back, you get it, right? So I don't want to go too long on that. I didn't have too much. So, and that was my thing with the stores kind of taking the space for themselves. And I fortunately for me, I don't have a Stop and Shop. And someone say, fortunately for you, and you want one. No, I'm fine. I don't have to put up with that. That's just one issue. I'm talking about some rolls. They're dealing with that with Thomas bread. They're dealing with that with just the loaf bread. It's a lot of different things going on with all that. So I get it. So we got a new feature. So if anybody puts a comment, it's gonna come up on the screen. I don't even have to put it up anymore. So we'll see how that works. It was something else. Oh, I got it right here. So I've interviewed Bob, right? Probably three times I've interviewed Bob. He's been to down here in the studio with me. I've interviewed Bob over the last 3 years. Bob was actually my very first interview, right? And I just had another one with him. It's on the page. Bob sold his route and he got out. He's still healthy, moving around. He comes into the sales center and helps out some other guys every once in a while. So what I did was playing around with his information, and I put together a little something. So this is what we got right here. You can see this. Put that on the screen right. This is what I did. This is Bob's bread journey, right? So from logging trees to stacking loaves. I put this together and I bought the first one myself. So I'm gonna put the link. It's not very long. It's only a few pages, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I put that together. You know what I mean? If you go on the YouTube page, in the about info, it's up there where you can take a look at that. And if you want to grab one, grab one. If not, it's fine. It's okay. It's actually just a little I was just playing around with the features and the information. I am not by any means a professional book writer, but I'm working on it. And I promise you, by the time I get all the parts of the story together, from Bob, Brandon, Carl, Nick, Steve, Lisa, and put everybody's things together. We have a nice little something there. So, but I was happy to get that today. It came in the mail. So that was my little bit of joy. I figured I'd share that with y'all. So Bob's Bread Journey, a little something. With that being said, I have a hold on a second. See if I can get this right. Okay. So see if I can get this. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So this is what my table looks like in my BJs. I think I a little, regular basic, little something, nothing crazy. It is what it is. So I put the table up, right? So I get the table up there. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. And then I put the other one up. That's the ballparks. And on the other side of the ballpark are the Arnold rolls. So I get those up there. I get that table up. I get this table up. I'm looking good. I'm doing good. So this was on this was what's this? Friday. So this was, I think, Monday, Tuesday, whatever. I get a call and then it looks like this. Let me know what your thoughts are. They put the two tables together. For some reason, they figure this is better. Now, I don't know. Doesn't seem like it to me. I think if they were separated, you get more room out of both of them. So, I think we're missing in the middle right here between the two, the space to pick or to even add. But so just giving you a visual to see what I was dealing with when I had to show up today. And, I had to work with it. So I still packed it out and made it do what it do. So it wasn't really like it was a real big issue. I'm just letting you know how it looked. And I kept it pushing. And, it is what it is. Overall, for yesterday, it was a busy day in the stores. So I packed it out heavy all the way around. And what you saw there, it didn't look like that when I left. The other side, the Coney hot dogs, I had them 3 high. And I was able to maximize the middle of the 2 tables and all on the ends to get the best, to use all the space. I maximized all the space. And, so just wanted to give you that visual. And that's what I was looking at. So it was just something different. I just never really put the tables together. Let me know if you run into that, so. Oh, see, I see it right there on the screen, Carolina. That's dope. Boom. That doesn't look good. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. They're both mine. They are both my displays. In that BJ's, just so I think I've said it before to give a little insight, I bring everything. I bring everything. I bring everything in there. And in the aisle I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.5, I think nine racks. I'm dealing with 9 racks. So yeah. So as far as the space like that's fine right there, because on both sides they can go by on the other side where the cooler is, and the side behind me is kind of like the aisles with the juice, and the you can't see it, but the deli is on the other side. So there's space to go. You could go all around it, but I like to leave a space in between to cut through. And I know that's what you're talking about. I just, that's where I get turned into the old guy in the old way. And I could be wrong, but I'm always assuming somebody in the office somewhere, or someone upstairs, or somebody sitting at a desk said, you know what, be good. This is how we should put the tables, or this is the best way, or I don't know. I don't know. And the dude that made the call is a good dude. He's like the regional guy. He's a good dude. He's actually, I happened to bump into him in the store shopping. He was, in the store shopping. This dude is the regional dude who like runs all of the BJs in the area. He happened to be shopping and said, what's going on with your displays? I said, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. No one said anything. He said, I'm saying it now. Bring them in. And that was a go. And that was like 2 weeks ago. And I like to get my displays and my tables ahead of time. I don't like to wait until a few days before the weekend or the holiday, whatever the case is. So yeah. Yeah. Definitely supposed to draw attention. I mean, you want to put it in people's faces. In the past, now here's the thing that I like, and had a management before, and this is what we used to do in BJ's. We would actually set the displays up in the front of the store. Now it's a little bit of a hustle because I got to go pack that out before the store opens. And when I come in later in the day, I would have to pack it out. But we would set the displays up in the front of the store. People rush the store as soon as they get in. They grab those hots and hams right off of the tables. And it was a game changer. If I could get those numbers from holiday sales 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and put them up against the last, I would say, two, it wouldn't even be a comparison. I mean, like Carolina said, you draw the attention, you put it right in their faces. They have no choice. They wanted them anyway. You're having them make the decision immediately. So, hopefully we'll get back to that. And it's like anything else when it comes to marketing. You put it in their face, they're going to grab it. So we'll see how it goes. So, but that's my display. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I gotta service Facebook and Instagram. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that's dope. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Well, one of these days I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna get somebody to help me out here, so I don't have to go back and forth. Shout out to my man Mike. We're gonna eventually do an episode. He's moving further in the process of acquiring his route, and I'm really happy for him. We had a call today, and just going through the steps and the stages. And I really, really am excited to have him come on, and we're going to tell his story. We're going to share that information and give you the play-by-play. And it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. And we're going to really let you know how it all came together. He's, I got footage from more than a year and some change ago of me and him trying to do a call on the old platform I was using, and I had shaky connections. I bad setup. What you're seeing right now, this camera is decent. This isn't even like the best camera, and lighting and the sound and everything. And I know it sounds good for a fact, though. I'm definitely sure I know this thing sounds good. But when I first started, whew, I'm gonna put some of those videos up one day. It's a good time. So we've got family size chips on sale in Publix, and I have a display in the front lobby, and we are selling more at that price than I would at BOGO in the back. And exactly. I already know. That is so dope. Yeah, Carolina. I forgot, man. You banging out those chips. And that's what I was going to say. I don't have BOGOs. And that's what the Stop and Shops, the Publix, all those supermarkets, they run those BOGOs. But if you get some prime real estate, the BOGO doesn't matter. You want that prime real estate, man. So again, speaking of the season, you're cooking out. You're going to get your chips, your hots, your hams, your sodas right at the front. They have all that stuff. So now people know, if you're watching this and you're the casual shopper and you don't do vending, this is why it's set up like that. And I'm sure you get it if you're an adult, but it moves with the seasons. Seasonally, they're going to have everything you need right at the front door for you if they're smart. A good manager will do that. And we talked about it before when we've had the conversation of, I had an end cap or I had some space and I turn around the next day and they got coffee there, or, just a random thing, lotion or hand sanitizer. I don't know who's making that decision, who dropped the ball and moved the hot dogs and hamburgers away from the best selling position ever. And, just, I think it's just bad management. Terrible management. So, but yeah, Carolina, thanks for sharing that with the people. I gotta shout out my man Josh. I don't know if you're watching or you're listening. I'm gonna check in with you after we get off the live. I definitely got the information very clear now. So just give me a minute and I'm gonna get back to you. Also got a full clip of my interview with Joel coming up, and I think that's probably next week. I've been putting up a couple of the shorts. Very, very, very good interview. Interesting story. If you haven't seen it, check it out. My man, he was working at a car dealership for about 15 joints, right? And decided he wanted to deliver bread, made the transition, and he's very happy about it. I put a short up this morning and a few others this week too. So it's got a few more to go, and then we're going to put the whole episode out. But very interesting story. Very, very, very good young brother. And I'm happy for him. I like what he's talking about. He worked for somebody for 15 years, and in under 15 months, he bought his own business. You know what I mean? But what he did it the right way. And if you had the opportunity, I would encourage anyone and everyone to do it this way. He got with the company, got on a route, worked for them, learned the business while getting paid, and then was able to buy the route. Even though he could have bought the route, he had the money, but he learned the business first. And that's one of the things I'm not going to say going through, but the discussions I'm having with the people that I'm actually in the process of doing route acquisitions with right now. You want to get out there. One of the first things that me and Brandon always encourage and say to the people when we speak with them, when we do the video chat and the call, once we get to that level of consultation, is you want to come out with me, you want to go out with him, the route you're looking at, somebody. If you're in our area and you have an opportunity, we'll bring you out. But you definitely want to try to get on the truck, get in that sales center and see what you're dealing with. It's the best thing to do. And I always say this because it's so true. You can't just go off of the numbers that you get from the company or from the seller. You have to go out and see what you're dealing with. If they say, well, I don't really want to put anyone in my truck, go in your own vehicle. Follow them stop by stop, meet them in the store. You want to see what's going on. You want to understand the stores. You want to understand the route. And it's the thing of if the selling price is just too unbelievable, like this is too, it can't be right. It might not be right. Go see. And sometimes it may be right. There are people that just want to retire. They have just had enough and they want to go home. So sometimes you may get lucky and it really is a cheaper price than what it probably is worth. But you have to get out there. You can't take anyone's word. And I'm not saying people are shady. It's just you have to go out. You have to be sure. You want to make sure, and I say this all the time, you can get up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning every day for the next 10 years if it takes that to sell that, to pay off that route, or 12. Or if you're in your 20s and you figure you can knock this out for 20. We have guys that have been doing it for, I think, Brandon's on like 28 years. So that's what it is. Are you committed to that for that long? Or is it, I want to get in and get out? You may want to be the person to come in, learn it, buy it, flip it. You may want to get in, come in, learn it, have someone work it, buy another one, learn it some more, have someone work it, and just have those be your two of your assets in your portfolio, and you're going to do something else, but you have to learn it first. You can't just look at it on paper, watch a video, say, I know someone that did it, I want to do it. You have to get in there. You have to get your hands dirty. You have to walk through the mud to come out clean. You can't just bob and weave through this thing and win without taking a few losses. So get out there and see what it's about. That's the best way I can say it. Buy 2, get 1 free. It's not a great price, but position up front, it looks like a great value. Yeah, and that's funny you say that. Buy 2, get 1 free. And in essence, you're really just paying for all of them, but the way they structure the marketing is just the way it goes. And you have to know this to understand it. So yeah, man. So that's my my get out there and learn how to do the business before you buy rant for today. And I love it. I love it. I tell anyone, come on out, get out there. So that's the best way. Hands-on experience. Hands-on is the only way. You can watch every video I put up. You can watch other videos other people put up. Unless you go out there and do it, it's not the same. It's just not. It's and back in my earlier conversation today, everyone does it differently. You can come out with me and I'll show you one way. You can go out with Kev and he'll show you how he does it. You can go out with Brandon, he'll show you how he does it. You can go out with Bob, he'll show you how he does it. And not that any of them are the right way or the wrong way. It's just the way we do it. You take from what that person does and put your own a little bit of what works for you on that, So that's the way it's going to go. And that's the best way to do it. I don't want anyone to feel it's got to be my way. I could just give you the information, make it work for yourself. So I want to apologize. I think it's Andrew that had emailed me and asked me for some information. I got the information together for you. I just didn't hear anything back from you. Email me back. Jace, I hope everything's going well. And give me an update when you get a chance. And I think that's it. I'm good today. we had a shutdown, so we don't have basketball practice today. I don't even have a game tomorrow. So anybody have any questions, let me know. I got a minute. If not, I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes, maybe 3, and then I'm gonna shut it down and I'm gonna get to my editing. I have some videos to put up and some more stuff to do. So I'll give it a second or two. Let me get over here to the gram. Okay. I collect sports cards, Carrie, MC Pats, Superman Health, Sweet Cookies, and Money Mike. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining. I wish that I could engage you guys a little more on the other side. And on the Facebook, it's the RBL winner. I know I always say this. So for those when you watch next time, if you're watching this, and I think it will play back on Facebook, it's the RBL winner page, RBL winner. And I know I always keep saying that the Facebook is the Facebook with Real Bread Life with 2 E's. It's going to be the Real Bread Life and it's RBL winner. And that's the page where the live pops up. I'm trying to figure out how to put it on the Real Bread Life with 2 E's page. And again, I'm gonna get my computer savvy on. My man B says I'm nice with it. I'm lying. You know what's funny? My favorite breads right now. I'm gonna say one of my Mike T. What's going on, baby? One of my favorite breads right now is the rustic. I've been making my tuna melts and my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with the rustic bread. And yeah, I'm rocking with the rustic, the sourdough, and the Italian. If I had to say what was the bread I'm eating the most right now, it's those two. Other than that, I'm a thin slice Levy's bread guy, and I usually use those for my tuna melts and and my egg sandwiches. That's usually that's the ones I go with right there. And you, what you rocking with, bread man? From one bread man to another. Now, I don't know if you were asking my favorite bread to eat or which to deliver. So to eat, that's what I'm rocking with. I'm really going with them rustics right now. I'm really a big fish eater right now, so I'm really doing a lot more tuna, salmon, catfish, whiteys. Yeah. Artisano white. Yeah. I was on the Artisano for a minute when it first came out. I was on that one for a minute. I actually, you know what I do like though, Artisano? I like the Hawaiian. I like the Hawaiian Artisano. You know, that one's pretty good too. But yeah, like I said, the when I make my sandwiches, like I got a griller, like a sandwich press. So yeah, I'm real serious when it comes to my sandwiches. I don't play around. You know what? I'm gonna make a video with me making a few sandwiches. Bread man using the bread. You know what I mean? That's the real bread life right there. So yeah, that might be a good video. I'll do a couple, from the simple PBJ to the tuna melt with the tomatoes. And yeah, that might be a good one. Yeah, make a mean egg sandwich too. Thanks, Mike. Can you guys see? I mean, for my screen, it's kind of different because I'm not it's smaller, but are the comments, are they readable? Because they just actually on the platform just added this feature. so I'm not really sure how it really looks because I'm in the where I'm at. I'm from the working it side. Charlie, my man, thanks for joining. The so oh yeah, and I forgot, my bad. Hey, congratulations too, man. Congratulations. I'll chop it up with you later on. Got a blue check. You official over there. Um, what was I? Oh, I was on the yeah, so I switched up a little bit, like I was saying, so more on the and it's crazy. I stopped eating certain things, but I went back on to the bread, and I'm telling you, I see the difference. I gotta get off that bread. I'm trying to get back more with the the I had a question this morning. I was speaking with somebody and we were talking about burgers and sandwiches, and I gave them the information. I said, you don't have to use bread. You can situate a few leaves of lettuce to be the bread. That's how I used to eat my turkey burgers a lot. And again, it's like anything else. You have to be dedicated to it, and you have to do it consistently. Once you do it enough, it's not even a problem. And you really need to make sure that you have good lettuce, and you need a nice big head of lettuce. And you can fashion it to where you don't have to use bread. You just have to take your time and be kind of crafty. And that's how I used to get around using the bread. And when I'm really on my get lean thing, that's what I do, and it works out well for me. So that's just a little information. Although I deliver the bread, I'm not promoting you have to eat it. It's very, very, very explosive once you eat it. So for those that don't know, bread is sugar, lots of it. When it all breaks down, and yeah. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time out of their night and joining us on all platforms, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Thursday Night Live. Next week we will be on again at 6:15. Facebook is Real Bread Life with 2 E's, and RBL Winner is the other page. You're watching on YouTube. Instagram is Real Bread Life. The web page is realbreadlife.com. Go on, put your email in, ask a question, give a comment, let me know what you need. I will get back. We will answer your question. We will help you out. We'll be able to service you more in a better way very, very soon. We are working on it. RBL everywhere. Real Bread Life. That's all I got for now. Stay blessed. Keep stacking.